Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here today at 225 Mountain Shadows in Sedona West, a wonderful neighborhood, one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of Sedona. This is an older home that has been owned by the same owners for 40 years. There's a lot that needs to happen here to be brought up to today's standards, but there is a really great canvas. Most importantly, these views, they're really nice views. Now I'm in the front part of the lot, and you can see kind of like in between the lower branches and the ground, we're kind of elevated above that street, Mountain Shadows right here. And we have all these really nice views. Now from inside the house, you don't really see them, but from the exterior, they're really nice. So what I suggest is improving the outdoor amenities here and really making it so that you want to spend time out here. You know, privacy fencing, doesn't have to be very high. 4 feet high would be enough to cover that street, and make it so that people driving by won't really see you. Maybe cut down a few of the lower branches to open up the view in the sky a lot more. Clean up the brushes. There's a really nice area here where you could put in a pool. This is a carport. Does it need to stay? Maybe not. There's a 2-car garage. That's perfectly fine. You could reclaim all of that area here and create something nice. What I love is this beautiful paved driveway that goes all the way down. That's really nice. It would be expensive to put in these days. And you have this little area here, all right? Of course, you have a lot of prickly pears and a lot of bushes, and you don't really have that great of a fencing situation, but you could put in a hot tub here, right? Look at this view. Look at this view with a hot tub. Clean out some of the branches, remove the bushes, redo all that fencing, create some privacy with the neighbor, and open up, a couple branches, and all of a sudden you can see Thunder Mountain, you can see coffee pot, you can see Sugarloaf. So there's a lot of really good things about this house, but it's gonna take a flipper. It's gonna take someone with experience. It's gonna take an investor that is not afraid of going down to the studs, because this house, it's older, and it needs some love. So the good thing, it's a brick building, okay? So this is really solid. We're on a slab. It's amazing. This is a 2-car garage, so all of this is up to code. You don't really need to do anything here. I have this side yard here, a little entrance. All of that in the listing photos was covered, but this was just removed recently. So I think this is the water heater, and you had the washer and dryer hookups here because all of that was covered. None of that is really acceptable anymore, so you'd have to relocate that, inside the garage. But you have the plumbing right here. So let's start with the entrance. Okay, so there's a lot of doors. I think over the years, they had covered porches, and then they enclosed the porches, and then they did another covered porches, and then they enclosed that as well. So it's like there's doors everywhere. I don't know if I would keep the main door here. I would probably put this as the main door and have this as a front courtyard. Here you can see obviously all of this was an enclosed space. You can see that CMU block wall here, the original exterior wall of the house. Maybe you can open this up more, and you can level all of this so that your living area comes all the way here, because if you're here, then you have better views. Obviously these sliding glass doors should go. Maybe you have big picture windows and you keep one of the sliding glass door. Have a good amount of space here in this living room. There's this kitchen here, which is, right now, this is the front door. So you would walk into the kitchen, which is not ideal, but there's a lot of space here. that you can work with. But again, it's going to take someone with vision. It's going to take someone that's not afraid of the work. This is the access to the garage, so that's good. We have a full bathroom here, and it's a good amount of space for a bathroom. You know, you got your shower here. The only thing is it leads to the kitchen, so it's not really connected to any rooms, and you have to go down this hallway to get to the bedrooms. But this first bedroom here, it's already en suite. This one has its own bathroom. So right now, this is another enclosed patio, you know, that was built out. You know, you need to reclaim this space. You need to do something with it. Perhaps you put a sliding glass door so you can walk outside from the bedroom. This one has its own bathroom. It's a good space. You know, of course you can remodel it with really nice cosmetic upgrades, but in terms of the layout, it made sense. We have this hallway here, and honestly, you could almost get rid of 3 feet of depth here and just make this hallway a lot more open. These are just closets. This is the second bedroom. And over here you have the sliding glass door. As I was explaining earlier, you could do the same thing here. So you would bring in more light, and you would just have this walkable level. This is technically the backyard, but it feels more like a side yard. Let's walk here again real quick so you can see kind of like where the layout is at. Okay, so we have one more bedroom here. This one had a sliding glass door outside, but it was a covered patio, which then got enclosed again. There's like a little wet bar here. And this space is actually pretty big. A lot of space here, but as you can see, this bedroom doesn't really have a legit egress, and you don't have fresh natural air coming in. So, you know, maybe you want to close this up, maybe you want to tear all of this up, maybe you want to make this bedroom here double the size, maybe you want to add a bathroom here, maybe you want to add another bedroom here. There's so many options with this house. You really have to think about it like a blank canvas. There's definitely enough room to entertain 4 bedroom guests. So that's really good. Another really good things about this house is this little, I don't know how to call it, maybe like a shed or small little stable, but this is a really nice footprint for potentially a future guest house. Obviously it needs some work, but the block walls are good once again. You know, you have enough headspace here. It's gonna be on the smaller side, but it's cute. And you kind of have some views. I don't know if you can see them, but yeah, you have some views now. There's a telephone and electric pole. That's gonna take up some of that space, but this is about 260 square feet. And then right over here on the other side of this wall, you have this area that's maybe 120 or 130 square feet. So this is on a slab, this is not. I would make this into a bathroom, and I would run, you know, water and sewer tied up here. This way you create an opening here, you close that off, and now you have a 1-bed, 1-bath little guest house. So that's something that could be done. Wouldn't be cheap, but down the line it would be worth it, especially for someone that wants to live here. So this is kind of the side yard, backyard. This is technically the backyard, but really it feels more like a side yard. But you can see all these bedrooms. Technically they have an access here, so you can make maybe private little courtyards for each bedroom, right? You can get rid of this shed or whatnot. You know, there's a lot to clean up around here, but yeah, this is just some storage here. Obviously you get rid of this, you got a plant here. right? So as soon as you come outside, you really see the views, the beauty of it all. So you have to maximize your amenities outside so that this property has a lot more to offer than just the interior. What up? There it is. Let me know what you think.